building's far from pretty now. We're coming downstairs to try to reach the basement, treading ever so carefully over broken timbers, tiles, and there are torn up textbooks littering the floor everywhere, not to mention the fire damage.
Just over there is the toilets. And John here used to do, he'd do a lot of printing and etching, and most of his etchings were done on copper plate. Well, us students, we couldn't afford copper plate. We had to buy zinc in the shop just over there. And the line was different on copper to zinc, and it was a much better line. And I was sat in the toilet one day, and I saw the kick plates at the bottom of the door made in copper. And I thought, well, I wonder if anybody would notice. So I just went out and got a screwdriver and took the copper plate off the bottom of the toilet door and cut it up quickly before anybody saw me, and started to use copper, and gradually started to strip the copper off the doors in the toilets. So I'm sorry if anybody's listening from Gwent County Council.
As we step into the basement, it's become clear that water's broken through, and we're wading through stale and murky puddles. Luckily, I think in the developers' plans, this is where the swimming pool's going to be. Well, we're going to what was the print room once upon a time. I think, in fact, we've arrived. John, perhaps you could describe what it is that we can see from here.
Well, this is a large barrel vaulted room, twin rooms. They were originally the engineering workshops. When I came here as a student at 15, this was two big machine workshops for the apprentices and people doing their sitting guilds or whatever they did at that time. They then became two painting studios, and then later the print area expanded from the other side of the college and filled these two rooms.
Behind us are piled up loads of, there's some metal shelving, there are doors, desks, carpets, even spools of film. Were they all used here?
No, not in here. I think they just got dumped. There's nothing I recognise from the print world in this place. All the machines, all the presses, they went. Some of them went for scrap, I believe.
Joe Strummer came and made a litho in here, which was to advertise the band which he was in, called the Vultures, which was made up of a number of art students and a bloke who was one of the mortuary assistants down at the Royal Gwent. I've still got a tape of the very first song that he wrote, called Bumblebee Blues. Of course, we didn't know him as Joe Strummer then. We knew him as Woody, because he was a big fan of Woody Guthrie, and that was his that was the sort of music. And strange, really, because the last bit of music that he made before he died sounded very much like the kind of music he liked when he was here. So he'd gone around in a complete circle.
This is that historic recording, lost for over 30 years and broadcast now for the first time.
Woody wasn't particularly confident in his ability to play the guitar, because he's checking still that he's got the right keys. He was very he wanted to make sure he could play it properly, because Martin was quite a good guitarist and Alan was a bass guitarist, so they're having a bit of a chat at the beginning of this track just to make sure they've got everything right.